What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, readoptionagency.com. 24 years, 23 years selling full time on eBay. I'm messing with my camera this morning and wait, you ready for it? Sorry. I just thought this was funny. So I was playing with it because I decided to do video here instead of downstairs. I'm like, you know what? It feels so non personal on this because there's no like extreme close up. Like when I'm at the camera and I'm like, let's play with this and see what it does. And now it's freaking me out a little bit. Hey, look. I don't know which way I'm supposed to go. All right. So it's Monday morning. So, ooh, that's just too much movement. Wow. All right, I'll try to stay still. So I want to get into the numbers for the weekend, numbers of last week, see where I'm at. And so everything's pretty much caught up shipping. Adrian shipped late last night. But I want to say this camera loves dramatic, extreme close-ups. I feel like I'm in Wayne's World or something. Whoa! Whoa! Oh wait, it was going backwards. Whoa! That's on my head. But anyway, I think yesterday was weird for me. It was different, and I guess I'm gonna have to take this off because it's annoying me looking at it move in and out like this. I felt an edge come off of me. See how I made that dramatic? I felt an edge come off me. And so I've noticed, like, for a while now, like if Jan would ask me a question, you could tell I was short. Like, I wasn't necessarily trying to be short or trying to be mean, but there'd be times where I'd be like, oh, sorry, I sounded like that. Just, I didn't know why. And, all right, I'm getting out of this. I'm sorry. But I didn't know why. And yesterday, she got home from work. She came in and asked me a question, and I answered it. And I'm like, that was different. Like, my answer didn't feel like harsh or short. It felt light and fluffy. I haven't felt like that in a long time. I'm like, I'm like, wow. You know, and then I started thinking, like, this morning as I got up to take Pee Wee and Courtney out at about 3:30, I'm laying there going back to sleep, and I'm thinking, and I'm just going through all those thoughts in my head about yesterday's events. And what I mean is, I did the stuff that I normally do. I did the stuff that I had to get done. I did some extra stuff. I, of course, fed and the dogs and kept Pee Wee up on his meds. I did a little vacuuming. I took a bath. What else did I do? I opened the pool, got the pool going. And I listed 300 items. And I was standing there at like 6:30. And I'm like, I got all this stuff done and I still got hours left in the day. I'm like, this feels crazy. How the hell did I do that? And yeah, commercial. List easier. No, but I felt a weight, I guess, come off of me and I didn't even realize it. Maybe not necessarily, yeah, I guess you could look at it as a weight. Just some anxiety, I guess. I guess some kind of anxiety or something was lifted from me. And see, for the past 5 years, dealing with, fighting against the eBay website, and I understand now how the eBay website works on the back end, being, listening and partaking into the text messages of List Easier and the guys and the building of it and stuff. And I understand, when you do one thing, how other things can fall apart. And then you take a big old beast like eBay and you apply that to it, and it's probably like 1,000-fold. I have a better understanding now of that. But you're still battling it. As a reseller, you're still battling, you just wish eBay would stop and just concentrate on the site and just letting it flow and fix the problems and stop updating it, causing new problems. Or you just wish they would stop. And I got a feeling it's not going to stop for another 5 years now that I know seem to see more things about back end and what have you. But so for the first 3 years or so, we were coming on video trying to figure it out. What the hell's going on? Why have all of our sales basically been cut down 50%? Whatever the case may be. And in the last 2 years, maybe not even two, maybe more like 1.5, I've just been wrestling with myself, going back and forth. Like, what am I going to do? Something's got to give here. I got to keep trying to list more and get faster because I have the stock. I have to shift somehow, whether that is, okay, do I got to start investing more money in inventory and going out and finding more higher or faster sell-through rate stuff, higher dollar stuff, or do I do something like Whatnot, shift over to there? Even if I did, went over there and sold $100 a day, it would be a big difference. Like I'm in breathing room, but I don't want to go backwards, right? So I'm just trying to figure out a way to go forward and to, bridge that gap even further from what I need to what I, can use for other things. Because you never know what could happen on any given day, right? You never know if something's going to happen and the computer's going to go out and you got to go spend $3,000, right? So I'm just trying to figure out a way to keep bridging that gap. And the one thing that I was doing differently the past year or so than, say, the rest of my life, I was waiting. Normally, I'm always doing something. I'm experimenting. I am trying to, and I guess I did do a lot of different things on the eBay website, trying different things with the tools that they gave us. But beyond that, I really didn't. And I was almost kind of just waiting for something. And that's usually not like me. And I was hesitant on doing anything, where before I've always been pretty high on tech and stuff like that. So a Whatnot, if you put a Whatnot in front of me 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I would have jumped all over it. Let me try this right out of the gate. Even if I don't like it or go back, let me try it. Where I haven't been in that mode. So I've been wrestling with myself. And I guess just getting frustrated that I wasn't kind of figuring things out. And then I would learn little things here and there, like started using Google Lens. So that gave me a little bit of a boost, right? Oh, I can see what's coming. It'd be nice if I could just take a picture and it would create the listing for me. Like, I've had that on my wish list for ever since I really started figuring out what AI can do. And then I figured out the Chat GPT thing, where all you have to do is copy and paste the information and create the listing. So that got me more excited, because that means, I'm able to speed up my listing process. Going before ChatGPT to using it, it probably took 10, 15 seconds off of each listing. And if you know me, it's always about taking those seconds off when you're doing volume. especially when you have to get into that routine and that structure. So I got excited about the chat thing. And then when Josh asked me to ride along with this new tool, new program, new website, List Easier, I was all in. I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. Because this is what I've been dreaming about. This is night and day from, where we were. I think, like I said in the one video or both videos, is feels like going from a horse and buggy to a flying car. And yesterday, after all I accomplished, and when Jan came home about 6:30, and I'm standing here, and she asked me the questions, and I answered them, and I answered them in a light and fluffy way that I have not felt in a very long time. And it's 6:30, and I think they were getting ready to work on the site anyway, so I had to back off of it anyway. Jan's home. It's Father's Day. They're going to get me my Father's Day meal, whatever I wanted. So I picked a Mexican place near us that has some good carne asada. So he went off to get that at that time. So I'm like, it's 6:30. I could literally stop for the night and look at all I accomplished for the day. And that feeling was, I hate using the same thing over and over again because then it feels fake, but it life-changing for me compared to my headspace and what I was doing and where I was and the volume game to yesterday was the real first time I felt those words, life-changing. Before I was just saying them in hopes of. Yesterday was the first day I felt it. And that feeling. Oh, and at that point, too, I'd already sold $180 of the CDs that I put up yesterday. So I felt it. I felt it hard. And I'm like, I guess it could only get better from here. And it almost feels like it's wrong. It's so good, it feels like I'm doing something wrong. Like I'm cheating or taking a shortcut or going to get, any minute now I'm going to get caught and it's going to be shut down. And it just feels, it's so great. It's so good, it feels wrong. And I'm embracing the hell out of that feeling because of the way I felt yesterday and the way I feel today. Like the last text I got, they're working on the site today. Like it don't matter. Whenever I can get into there, I'm going to be able to get 100 listings up, no problem, and beat 4 days out of 7 from previous before using it, where I would slack so much, or I would get sidetracked, or just get bored of the routine I was in, or just having to mentally just keep going, keep driving in order just to get 100, 150, 200 up. I had to pound out and just fry myself out for 8 to 10 hours or whatever. And yesterday was a totally different feel. And I'm thankful for that. I am definitely very thankful for that, and very thankful for this experience and being able to be one of the first people out of the gate to use it and to help find the problems, help make it better. I mean, it's crazy what they're doing behind the scenes with List Easier. I'm going to talk a little bit about them now because it's crazy. Super Dave is, so we got texts going back and forth all day long, and Super Dave, who when I say, hey, this ain't working properly, or hey, can you add this? Hours later, it's there, it's done, it's fixed. Hours later, unlike something like eBay, when there's a problem, it could take 3-5 days. Hell, there's some stuff that's over 3 months, it still ain't fixed. Within an hour or so, things are fixed or things are changed. I'm like, wow. So he's there just doing his thing. And he said, in one of the texts, he said something that resonated with me, because I don't know how, I don't know what other people's mental states are unless I know. So, when I'm telling him all this and that, and then he responded with the word fun. He's having fun. It's a fun challenge or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's enjoying the hell out of this. So here's, that kind of took a weight off of me with going, this is a problem, or hey, how about this? Or he's enjoying it. And then you take Josh, and I'm gonna try to remember to put Josh's link below this video. So make sure you subscribe to Josh's channel, because I'm sure he's going to talk about more of the in-depth stuff on the backside and what have you than I would know about. So, and he usually goes live every day. So I'm gonna put his link. Try to remember to keep putting his link in the description too. Josh feels like a kid in the candy store, right? Josh is very excited to be on the front end of new technology. And he's just oozing this like childlike energy of excitement, and it's awesome. It's great to feed off of it, and it's awesome to feel. And then you got Super Dave, who's just having it. I just picture him having fun, having a blast, enjoying the challenge. And then there's Travis the Brain, who I know nothing about. He's in the background. He's not, I don't think he's even part of the group text. So I picture him, he's in a cage in the room, and they got him locked up with a sign over his desk saying Travis the Brain, and they got him, can I use the bathroom now? No, not until clothing is added to the program. But I gotta pee. I'm not saying that's the way it is. I'm just saying I don't know how it is. So I'm sure he's enjoying the hell out of it too. But being a part of something that's groundbreaking and something new is a pretty cool feeling. It's a pretty cool feeling. So kudos to them guys, man. They're just going crazy. So if you end up on any of Josh's live, you didn't live on Josh's live, kind of southern twang coming out there, tell him thank you for this, because I'm telling you, once it comes live and you guys are using it, it's going to change lives. And at the cost, the cost of it for you guys out of pocket, 3 to 7 cents a piece. And Josh just announced today, I saw his post, so I shared it. First day it launches, free on the first day. So you got a whole day to try it and list like crazy. And don't have an exact day yet, right? They're working literally feels like 24 hours. Anytime I'm awake, they're there. Most of the time I'm asleep, they're there working. So work's getting put in, and they're having fun doing it. I'm having fun being a part of it. I'm having fun finding problems and breaking things and reporting back and suggestions and things like that. I'm having a blast. So you guys are going to be so stoked and excited about this, because you know me, I'm going to be truthful about everything. I have no monetary involvement in this. There will be an affiliate link, but I'll probably miss out on a lot of them, because for me, it's not about the money. It's about seeing these guys succeed because of the hard work they're putting in and the money and the time they're putting into it, because it ain't cheap, right? So my success is going to be just being first out of the gate and making some money, selling stuff, listing quicker, and watching them freaking do their thing, succeed, explode. And I just hope to always be along for the ride in some capacity. So I'm not going to just I'm still going to be honest and truthful. I'm not going to blow smoke up anybody's butt. But this thing I have not found anything negative about it at all. And if I did, All I'd have to do is say, hey, this should be this or that, and it would probably get done. And if it made sense, right? And there's been nothing yet. Nothing. This thing, literally from, you know, what it can do to the pricing to, I mean, it's just, in my eyes, kind of flawless right now. What and my excitement is what can be added to it to make it even better. That's where my head is like, there's still a pathway to go just to get, the first steps done. But then what's after that, right? Apps, cross posters, cross listing, etc. I mean, I was watching the show, Great Brands That Build America, or whatever, and last night's was eBay and Amazon. And I'm watching this, and at the same time, I'm thinking of all these new little companies like what they started with List Easier. And how are these companies going to relate or compare to something like an eBay or Amazon, right? It's a new frontier. They're just starting out. Here's what they're doing, kind of like Bezos or whatever, just selling books and boxing them up himself. These guys are there building this themselves, and behind the scenes, Amazon blows up into this $1 trillion thing. What is this thing? What's the potential of this with all this technology that's coming into the shoot? Oh, we're back to the dramatic pose. Well, so my mind, I'm just enjoying the hell out of it. But okay, enough about trying to be a salesman there. Not trying to be, but being a salesman. How about that? Let's look at the numbers for the week, because I am curious to see how it all played out yesterday and what have you. So Saturday was a train wreck. Saturday, I didn't even hit $500 for the day. So, yes, Saturday was not good at all. So, we know what, we're just going to ignore Saturday, because we know that was a train wreck. So, let's go to yesterday and see what yesterday numbers were, which would be the 15th. And let's see if we got any international websites. Yes, $27 or so. So in the media store, $627.58. And right now I'm doing CDs. I'm testing the CDs. I'm in the CD bracket until I'm given the green light to do other things and start testing other categories and stuff. I'm staying, with that. And like I said before, you don't pay attention to the net sales, especially on a Monday, because that's including all the shipping from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday came out of that. So 45 items sold yesterday. So with this store, the one thing we're going to want to keep an eye on is the sale of music CDs. If that's what I'm concentrating on now, how are they climbing? How are they going up? And I see a problem on eBay. All my numbers are not colored now. So something changed there, but I haven't really been in here in a couple of days since I've been using the List Easier program. I haven't really been on the site to find any problems. So what there is, I don't know. I guess that could be a good thing too. Kind of keep us distracted and motivated. We don't know what the problems are going on if we're doing our work outside of the site and uploading our stuff to the site. So that could be another positive motivation. Instead of on the site encountering all these problems and they just demotivate you, right? It can just keep you going. Okay, so 627 for yesterday there. And over here we did $450. So yesterday, $1,078 for the day. Bing, bing. Hit over my $1,000 mark. Like I said, about $180 of that were CDs that I listed yesterday that sold. So I'm already seeing a good return on increasing the volume of listing. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Where are we at this morning? $39 and 101. So we're going on. about a quarter till 10, and we're at about $150, right under. So better than it started yesterday. But look how yesterday turned out. So I'm cool with that. Let's go for the week. So we're going Monday through Sunday. So for the week, $3,391. That's up 1.8%. 275 items sold in the media store last week. Average price of $12.33. Top 5 items sold last week over here. We got DVDs and Blu-rays at $115. Those are up 38%. Number 4, action figures, $183. That's up 6.8%. Vinyl records going down at number 3, $283, down 37%. Music cassettes, $481. That's down 14%. And then the category we're going to keep an eye on, music CDs, they're always number 1 anyway. $1,595, up 30%. Yesterday, even there was some of the items, as soon as I listed them, I listed 2 items, and they were cheaper generic items. But, sorry, my receiver went off because no noise came through it. I forgot to activate it. As soon as I put them up, somebody came in and bought, used buy 2, get 2. Ended up buying like 8 items with 2 of the items I just listed at that moment. It was very, very quick. I don't think I've ever had anything not collectible sell that quick out of the gate. So I was like, wow, that was weird. So it not only did those 2 items sell, but they ended up buying like 8, which I did not account those other 6 into the $180 equation. So was one of those items what triggered him or her coming in buying the 8 items. So the positive stuff about just, adding more when you're in the volume game. So, so that's good to see there. And then we're going to go over to the clothing store for the week. The store that's been totally ignored. I need to start getting some stuff up over here. So $2,152. Even though I'm ignoring this store, it's up 20%. Whoops, did I forget to put the number down? 3391.17. So up 20%. 111 items sold over here last week. Average sale price at $19.39. 2151.79 equals. And then, so that takes us to $5,543 for the week. Divide that by 7. And we're right under $800 a day, $792 average per day. So I'm happy. I'm glad. I want to see what this will look like next week. If I just keep, pounding up CDs, see if we start hanging out over 800 on a consistent basis. That would be nice. Top 5 items sold over here last week. We got number 5 at NFL items at $95, up 247%. We got men's shoes coming in at number 3 at $144, up 366%. We got Major League Baseball, $164, up 104. Men's t-shirts, $213, up 43%. And of course, men's hats, $692. The only category that's actually down is my number 1 category. And that's down at almost 20%. So good week overall, and for a lot of various reasons. From the money, from the experience, from the future, to, it's been a pretty awesome week for me. Yeah. Um, there, I don't know if I've addressed this in a video or not, but like, there's a lot of, there's some who's looking at this, what's to come in a negative light. So I want to try to help you out because I don't want anybody to get left behind. And for whatever reason, and that's not for me to care or judge about, somebody looking at it in a negative light, but let me try to feed off of some of the reasonings and try to give an optimistic viewpoint if I can. I think the first one was about, well, first off, we know reselling is going to change. This is going to change reselling, period. We know this. Some say it's going to oversaturate the market and there's not going to be enough buyers. And that's the one I'm pushing back on hard for, and that's in my head the most, right? Thinking different scenarios, different reasonings why you would think that, reasons why that may not be the case. And I keep going back to the same thing, but let's see if anything new pops out. So all this more stuff's going to get listed, right? But there's not going to be the buyers to buy it, so they say. My thought is, how do you know that there's not already an abundance of buyers out there compared to the stuff that's out there, right? How do you know what that percentage is right now? So if you don't know what that percentage is right now, how can you predict what it will be in the future, right? The way I kind of look at it is, well, what am I missing out? How many potential customers am I missing because the items are sitting in my storage and not listed? So just like yesterday, I listed 300 items and made $180 in one day off those items. Those have been items that's been sitting in my storage for 10 plus years. So how many buyers am I already missing? So how many items are in your death pile in your storage that maybe nobody has listed? Well, guess what? You just created your own new buyer there, somebody who's looking for that. Or maybe two people who are looking for that, right? Say there's only two of them out there, 3, 4, 5. Well, if you get yours into that mix, maybe yours sells over somebody else's. That takes you up. You just gained another customer. So I look at it as, you can't predict there'll be an oversaturated of stuff because you don't know if the market's oversaturated or undersaturated right now. Because even from a media standpoint, not everything is online. I got a little cough here. Not everything's online. One of the CDs I put up yesterday, one hasn't sold in forever. I didn't even know what the price of that. I put it up at $299. Somebody came in with an offer of $80. I let it set for a few hours. Nobody else came in. It was an independent rap single, 3 songs on it. And I waited, and usually with hard to find rap stuff, usually you're gonna get those buyers right off the bat because they got it saved on eBay. So when it pops up, they have it saved on Amazon, whatever, when it pops up. I think there was one on Amazon for $299. It was used and mine was new. So I'm like, okay, that hasn't sold at $299. Let me put mine at $299. That's what it was. So they came in at $80. I let it sit for a few hours. Nobody ever else came back in, so I accepted that $80 offer. I wouldn't have had that customer. That was an extra customer out there waiting for this item. So how many extra customers are out there waiting for your items? So I don't fall for that theory right now that it's going to oversaturate the market. Will it oversaturate? Will it saturate a market? Yes, it'll cause more stuff to be in the market. But that doesn't mean there's not buyers for that, first off. And I think, secondly, if you're able to do volume, or you have the volume to do, that's going to offset it, and everybody's going to rise anyway. I think it's going to be one of those tides raise all boats type of feel, as opposed to it's going to push things down. Because I said it in one video, I think something like this is a whatnot killer. I think a lot of people went to whatnot out of, and I don't mean this in a negative way necessarily, but in a lazy way. And I mean that because it was so difficult. It's so difficult to list on eBay and to deal with eBay, with the problems, and it just gets old. So I guess lazy may not be the exact word. It might just be sick and tired of the eBay thing. So that might be a better way of phrasing. I think a lot of people who are giving their stuff away at next to nothing, at like 10% of its value, are going to realize that, hey, I can take all this stuff listed in a day on eBay and just let the sales start rolling in, where one sale may pay for everything I would have made on whatnot, and I only sold one of the items, right? I think it's actually going to raise the market back up a little bit. I think places like whatnot and smaller sites that don't have the buyers have dragged the market down. So I think this is going to actually raise the market. And of course, this is all theory. We never know until we get there, but that's the way I'm viewing it. That's kind of the way I feel the direction it's going to go. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. But one thing is for sure, if you're not in the door at opening day, you are going to fall further and farther away. There's no doubt about that. If people are listing like crazy and you're not there, at least in, keeping up, you're gonna fade away. If you're sitting with the same items in your store right now and have that same amount of items, or only like 10% more or 20% more in a year from now, you're probably going to have less sales. Yes. But if you're able to at least keep up, you're probably going to see a little bit of an increase in that. So I think it's like I said, I think it's going to raise the tide's going to raise all boats. And another reasoning I give is something that people can't see. And I like thinking about stuff that people can't see. And that is, how are the buyers of the future going to be able to buy? Because if it's easier, quicker to buy things, if it's easier and quicker to sell things, you're going to have more people in the field. You're going to have more money going around. You're going to have more buyers. You're going to have new ways of buying. There's a new way of listing now. What's the next phase of buying? Because I guarantee you, if there's a way to be created, somebody's going to find that way. Why not let that be you? Find a new way for somebody to buy things. What's that new technology? What's that next technology? What's that AI way for the shoppers of the future? There's going to be a lot of things like that that's going to come into play in the whole scenario of what's going on today. And I can't think of any right off the top of my head, but I feel like, I said that, I feel like I can apply it to something in the past, but that's going to be on my mind all day. Like when something changes, all these other tentacles come in to bring that even bigger. And I feel like I got something in my head somewhere that I can relate that to, but I don't know what it is yet, so I have to figure that out. But I think changes across the board is going to be a positive for everybody who wants to be involved. So, yeah, make sure you sign up for List Easier. You know when it's coming. The price is the best one out there right now, by far the best price out there. And from what I've seen, it's a better product overall from what I've seen. So people ask, I'll end it on this and move on. People ask, and a lot of people are going back and forth like, how did two new technology, two new companies, two new websites come out in the same day? That's weird. Da 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 da. That's weird. Well, think about this. The other company involved, the other person involved, knew what I was going to be talking about, what was coming the day that I was going to, the original day I was going to make a video and release it. So, the war of business, right? You try to be the first to market. You try to jump the gun. You try to, get your foot in the door so you can get the most revenue. But for me, it's not necessarily who's first. It's who's the best. And good things come to those who wait. And so hang in there. Keep an eye on my channel, Josh's channel. Link will be below. We're going to keep you up to date on things and try to keep you excited. And I'm going to continue sharing what's going on with videos showing you so you're comfortable with the product. So whenever it's freed up today, maybe I'll make a video showing some of the new updates, because I don't even know what they're going to be yet. So yeah, we're just going to keep plugging away at it, keep it building. I'm going to try to keep you up to date with how to use it, so that day one out of the gate, on that first day that is free, you're going to be able to utilize that day to its full potential if I do my job right and teach you how to use it before it comes out. So there's no, and I said something about the other company, there's no ill will or anything to that, because competition's fun. Competition is awesome. Competition makes people do things better, right? Just like the old days of WCW and WWE wrestling. It made the products better, right? So it's just one of those things. Let's see who's standing at the end. And I'm not going to get knocked down. So let's go. All right. Thanks, everybody. And I'll see you all in the next video. Later.